So this is a official declaration of war against the owners of um, Walmart, Safeway, and Whole Foods, because all three of those places are within 2 blocks of where I live. Uh-oh, did I give away where I live? But they're all super close to where I live. They're all super close to me, and they have the perfect stoner job, the Midnight Stalker. They offer the Midnight Stalker job, which is a perfect stoner job, and so they have to give it to me. Only they have a law that says stoners um, can't be midnight stalkers, and I'm a stoner, so I consider and I need a job. See, their stoners are allowed to exist. People need to make money, have jobs. Stoners are people. Therefore, stoners need jobs. Therefore, there need to be jobs for stoners. Therefore, we need to identify which jobs are for the stoners. Therefore, the best job for the stoner is the Midnight Stalker. Only problem is you. I'm going to explain now why Midnight Stalker is a perfect stoner job. The stoner is the guy who goes, hey, how's it going? Da da da. And the people go, oh, fuck. And they don't like you. They don't fuck you. So you don't want to be like interact with people. Stoner's the guy who could have the bad train of thought or whatever and drop something. Um, well, most of the stuff in the supermarket is in plastic stuff. And if you drop it, it won't break. And if you're going to bring a bunch of like jars, you would bring it in the cart, and they're all wrapped under like cardboard and stuff. um Maybe the stoner could crash his car or whatever, fall off a cliff and get hurt. Well, at a supermarket there's nothing dangerous, there's nothing sharp, there's no cliffs. um so it's kind of like another one. Let's see. Gardening is a stoner job because you can just be outside and enjoy the earth and the sounds and smells. So, um, so you need to give me the job. It's not like you don't have the right to say I can't have the job, even though like you're the owner of the company and you get to stay the owner as long as you want, and you can make all these decisions regarding people. People make all kinds of unfair decisions. The company, the food company, the food distribution company should not be owned by private individuals anyway. Um, Eventually, I don't know about, not now, but pretty soon. Um, once we get the system set up, which we don't have yet. Once we have the aeroponic skyscrapers within the center of the cities that you just cart to the distribution centers via beltway. Once it's all set up, you make it, buy a new company, or you guys, if you want to do it that way. But once that's all set up, you make it nationalized. But you only get to make the operation systems. You don't get to make the decisions. Like, you can't be a stoner because it's been proven that stoners are people, and that's the easiest job for a stoner. That's just one of those like rules people are hanging on to, you know. And so, if you're going to hang on to it, you're you're the perfect representation of the person who needs to be overthrown. Because I'm sure plenty of people have tried to reason with you, and you just like, no, 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 no. So I'm gonna bypass that one, and I'm gonna use the age-old tactic of the cursing. Because when I say declarate war, I'm talking about hippie war, stoner war, you know. It's like metaphoric, you know, like kind of like in ancient Rome, that's what they did, kind of bringing back the ancient Roman tradition, where she would sit in the front, she'd say, "By the name of Jove, I curse you, oh break your back," you know, and just bring light to light. I like bringing light to an issue because then it changes, you know, by pressure. But I like bringing light to an issue that doesn't have to cost money. Um, in the way of taking money away from something else. Like I had my idea of bike school, which costs money, but it doesn't. But it costs less money than anything else, so it actually saves money. But I think this is a good cause because it doesn't cost any money to just say, okay, stoners can work at the supermarket, and yeah, and a lot of people see. I don't. I'm too old. 42. I'm too old to be told that I have to lie, you know, because somebody might be like, "Oh, come on, just lie or whatever." Like if like you can't be a stoner, okay, and then just but be a stoner anyway. No. Um, my roommate got a job at Walmart recently, and he said he took a like a test under his tongue, some foam thing, and he passed it, even though he smoked weed 3 days beforehand. But that's still, if it makes it easy to pass, still, you know, I don't want to have to be a liar, so it's better to just get rid of the law. And until then, though, we're at war, you know, because you've demonstrated that you're not very smart. And everybody knows that people who are not very smart do not respond to um, logic, they respond to intimidation. So, and boogeyman, you know, fantasy shit. So I'm going to just curse you. I'll just curse you. You know, and if you want to sick a lawyer on me for slander, we can go to court and we can discuss what slander is. But slander, you have to be malicious, like you're going to hurt you. And all I'm doing is saying that you're an idiot and using your name. So I guess wars have battles, and so each video I'll do, I'll dedicate to you, and I'll drop your names. I don't know anybody's name in there now. I'll have to do the research, but you know, you talk your thing, and then you say, oh, whatever the subject of the video is, and then you say, your fault, and then you drop the name, and then you maybe try to make something up about them, and you try to dissect their psychology to destroy their soul. Kind of like how Hannibal Lecter did to Jodie Foster, you know, like, you must have been raised poor and so you feel like you have to overcompensate. You know, that kind of thing. And because it's, you can't go into somebody's backyard and, you know, replace the industries. For example, let me give an analogy. If somebody were to open up a big old supermarket in Boulder, okay, if a Boulderite, okay, because the idea, even from the very beginning, from tribal days, is that people live in the tribe and everybody knows each other, and those are the people who manage. It's not managed by somebody else from a zillion miles away. If something's managed by somebody else from a zillion miles away, shit doesn't work. Like that's what caused the French Revolution. Everybody was just centered on Versailles. There's no communication. It has to be managed by the people here. Now, if there's some big business and they're managing it for whatever reason, because you bought it, well, that's cool, but you can't manage, you can't make all those kinds of social decisions. It has to be managed by the people here. And so if somebody here were to start up a supermarket, okay, just like, because I guess we didn't need one, just start one, they would never make a rule that says stoners can't be midnight stalkers. It would not ever, ever, ever happen. So that rule being there is a representation, illustration of um, this oligarchical, fascist system where the businesses are making the decisions for people and taking over and telling us what we can and can't do. I can't get a job. I can't work. I'm $6,500 in debt. I'd love to be a midnight stalker. You think I'm lying? Give me my midnight stalker job. And I think people saying that you're not good enough. It's like, here, let me say that I'm good enough to be a midnight stalker. Kind of like my hire me video. I want to be a midnight stalker because I think I'm qualified to be a midnight stalker because I made a website that has lots of numbers and stuff attached to things, and so I know numbers. I can do arithmetic and subtraction, and so if it says 5 applesauces to row 8, I could do it. And I can move on my feet. I've done bicycling around, so I can move about, and I have a college degree that I graduated college, and I speak Spanish fluently, and I've traveled, and the supermarkets here I've noticed have people from other countries, so I could get along with people from other countries, so I'm qualified. So my qualifications supersede your opinion. It's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. My qualifications are the paper, and your opinion is the rock. I am qualified to be the job that you couldn't really imagine another job to be. And I want that job, I'm not going to get another job. I'm stubborn. And you're going to give it to me. One use is going to give it to me by legalizing, making the stoner able to get the midnight stalker job. And you might think that the populace has you back, but it's just not true. You're in a bubble. Somehow you're in a bubble. Like your kids. I don't know if you have kids, but if you have kids, they would not be able, if they're 30 years old, they wouldn't get away with saying, hey, fucks, legalize weed, bitch, legalize weed, woohoo! We stoner can't be a stalker, motherfucker! So, there's something wrong. There's some kind of disconnect between your kids and you. The generation. Fucking no comunicado. Some kind of mental retardation going on there. Yeah, so you're not smart. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the topsy-tipsy of the social structure. I'm like $6,000 in debt, can't get a job as a supermarket stalker, which is, let's say that's the bottom. So you might think that you're smarter than me, and you're Adonis blood and stuff, Tiger DNA or whatever. Tiger blood, Adonis DNA, superhuman. But in the world of democracy, what have you done? You're a fucking business dude. Business people are just administrators. Anybody can do that. I could do it. I could administrate shit. It's just buying this there, put it there, buy it that. It took you guys forever to get rid of the freaking magazine rack. It only happened last week over the supermarket. I'm a philosopher and inventor, and a person who does nothing but work and create and build myself. Bill, go to sleep. Bill, go to sleep. I'm a better person than you because I give more of myself than you do. You sit around, fuck people over, spend money, order people around, and don't allow me to work. I would never not allow you to work. I would allow you to work. And it's weird because all of these, right-wing people don't want the stoners to work. They're always complaining that, poor people are lazy and don't work enough. It kind of reminds me of, you can't live in this country unless you're, a Christian or something, like in the past. The king making all the rules. And you can't, I'm not going to let 3 blocks from me, and my only, because I can't be a gardener. There's no like super gardening, like all these gardening opening positions that I can keep an eye out for like that. It's easier to get a stalker job. There's more. It's more. It's a well, I don't know, but it's the one that I want because I don't like. I feel like somebody's laughing at me, doing like one of these, like, haha, you're so stupid, I can get away with it, you know. But that's the job I want because nobody's looking at me. I'm in there listening to my audiobook. It's perfect. It's a perfect one. And I always wanted to have a job where I can listen to the audiobook. I did the janitorial work for $10 an hour last year. I was getting $380 a week. I mean, $380 checks every 2 weeks. For working 4 days a week. And so this is a good deal. It's $13 an hour I heard they were starting at. But those are hours back to back. So I could work that up for 6 months or a year. Get out of debt. So let's change this law. And until then, it has to be battle zone. So I guess every month I'll do a new video. And only I'll dedicate it to y'all. And you can get all butthurt or whatever. Or you can just change the rule and we can drop it. Yeah, because I don't like it when stuff starts to affect me personally. Until next time, Generalissimo Kyle signing off of the battle zone.